Hello YouTube. Right, this is an introduction to a new project. This is something that we're going to be doing over the next 2 or 3 videos, maybe 4 videos, depending on how well it goes and what materials I can get. So this is the introduction video. Right, as you know, I'm trying to get back into the video production. Trying to get some videos out. Really, my videos only get 200 to 300 views their entire life, even some that's 4, 5, 6 years old. My major videos, the ones that are really big, they're the ones that get the views in. The ones where I make a big project, something unusual. My pirate chest, a really good project. Go and have a look at that and have a look at what I mean about that. And so, and the alterations to the Dragstar and the Intruder, I do get good views on those, and those are monetarised, and they pay for me to be able to do more videos. I break even. It runs my website and allows me to pay for videos. And so if you do get a chance, go and see my other videos, go and see the playlists, have a look through, because the more people that view, the more likely, the more production I can do into this project. I don't make any money off it, I just break even. It just pays for everything. Right, with the apocalypse I haven't been affected too much. I have had a couple of videos demonetarised. I have no idea why, but because they don't have enough views there, they haven't affected anything. And Google says it has to have 1,000 views in the last week in order to them to look manually. It's an automated system, and I've basically gone, I've only done 300 views on the entire life of the video, and it's been there for 6 years. Why you've demonetarised it is because you've run an algorithm. Silly people. So there's a lot of people that basically say go to Patreon, go to other things. If there is a channel, it's an educational channel. I class mine as an educational channel. Please do support them. They need the support. I specifically don't, but it would be nice if you went to see my other videos. Anyway, that's over with. As you know, I walk with a stick. I don't necessarily need it, but because my leg has a little tiny amount of instability, but basically I can walk and walk and walk and walk, and then my leg decides to hurt, and I decide, yeah, I need my stick. So I tend to walk with a stick just to keep me going for longer. It's mainly due to pain and my lower back as well, otherwise I limp too much. But anyway, I walk with a stick. I'm also trying to get back into the LARP thing, and as you know, I used to be the running around scouty type with a bow, maybe just running around doing stuff, being active, and I can't do that as much as I used to. I'm still trying to get back into it, so I decided to go, I'm going to be a spell flinger, I'm going to be a mage, I'm going to be a wizard. I thought, yeah, and I had my stick in the last event, and it's a big meaty piece of brass, and really I don't want to be taking that out onto a field that it might be mistakenly picked up and used, because it might hurt somebody. So I want to get away from doing that. So I went to the guys that run the systems, and I said, can I make a wizard staff? And they said, what do you mean? I want a sort of like a prop staff that I would use for walking as a walking aid, but also use as a prop. And it says, well, we'll have to see it to see if there's a problem with it or not, if there's going to be a problem. So I said, not a problem, I'll build it and bring it to you. And so this is what this project is all about. I want to get away from that, so we'll start with a stick. This is a broom handle. Just an ordinary broom handle. So there's my stick. I'm done. Job done. Project's finished. No, not really. I want something that lights up. So I want something here that lights up. So I thought, LEDs, small battery pack, have a button, press it, there we go. £1 from the pound shop. That cost me £1 from the pound shop, not including batteries. So I'll stick that there, and then we'll have a glowy thing here, so mirrors and stuff like that. So that needs to go into a tube, so I thought, electrical conduit. That goes over the handle like that, that goes in there, press the switch, lights up. Still got the top end to do, but I want to get the meaty bits out. I want to basically make what the light's going to go into, which means taking this apart, which is going to be fun. This was £1 from a pound shop, and it is very, very basic, so it shouldn't be too hard to take apart. But as you can see, it might be an interesting project. Let's do something like, there we go, with something glowy at the top. Right. What I've got to do is take this thing apart. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop the back off. Now that's the switch. Have a look at that. It's just basically a switch on the end of the tube, and it's just an on-off switch. We're going to keep that, see what we can do with that. Because it's screws, I might have an idea of screw thread. And now we'll remove the battery pack. The battery pack is very simple. One end's negative, one end's live, and it plugs straight into there. So we've got to get this apart. Now I need to get to the LEDs, which is the fun bit. So we'll pop them to one side so they're safe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Dremel. Oh, what's this, a guild? I don't know. We're basically going to cut it open. Now, I've thought of several ways to do this, and one was to basically cut round there and see what we can do. But that is metal. It is a metal casing. I'm thinking of cutting straight down one of these lines very gently. Or what I can do is cut all the way around there. We'll see how it goes. So let's see. Noisy, earphones, put the volume down. Right, what I want to do is be able to crack that glass out. Now, I've done that. Let's see if I can prise it open. Just prise it open. Possibly knock the glass out. There we go. Yes. I've actually got to the inner part. Let's see if it's stuck in. I don't think it's stuck in. But cracking the plastic. Yeah, it bends quite easily, as we can see. So are you a solid? It looks to be in there a solid plastic. So if I cut down there and take this apart, that'll give me more to work with. So here we go. There we go. And that is why you should always wear your goggles. Things like that, but I think that'll crack. Yeah, it's bending quite easily. So I can then do that, pop that out. Let's see if we can do it. It's going to come out. Let's use a better. That. Try not to do any damage. Yeah, it's just basically chrome plated plastic. What else have we got on here that we can use? This is my multi-tool. I love my multi-tool. Here we go, that'll do it. There we go. We got it. So that should then pop out. And that's what the unit we've got. That is the unit, and that is how basic this is. It's a very basic system. So what I need to do now is wire this together. So we've got that, and we've got the battery pack. Oh. So we've got that. It's very basic. And we've got the switch, and we've got the battery pack. And now we've got to work with that into making it a wizard staff. So I probably need to clear up all this plastic round here. And my idea is to solder these together, and then solder these, and then put wires from these to test on the battery pack. So that is actually a separate unit. I'll probably need to clear all this plastic from around there as well. We'll see. Let's have a look. Right then. We got it apart, and as I said, I was going to solder it all together. I've soldered the ring all the way around, and I've soldered the centre. The red wire is the positive, the black wire is the negative, so the inside was the positive and the outside was the negative. So I've all soldered that together into two wires, and this should, let's see if we can get that, working. If we put our battery pack, which is the positive is there, so there's the positive, and we take the negative wire. We're ready for this. It works, it works. This is the great thing, is this switch here, if I put that on the negative at the bottom, hold it together, nothing, press the switch, oh, there we go, there we go, press the switch, off, press the switch, on. I want to keep this switch together because I quite like it, and being able to put it into the staff itself as a proper switch like that. Also, there's a waterproof membrane that came with this, so I can put that over the top. So that's the first bit done. We have the working parts, and now we've got to put it into the tube. Right, next part of the staff. Now we have the battery pack. Right, you've got the battery pack. I took out the little torch. I've drilled a hole in one end, drilled a hole in the other end. That's for later. The battery pack works fine, but it needs to fit in a tube, like so. What I did is, I don't know if you can see, can you see the tube? I've actually sanded out some of the tube so I can get the battery pack in and out quite easily. There we go. And I also drilled a hole, there we go, see that, you can probably see it through the end, no, anyway I drilled a hole in the plastic as well, and that's for, oh, don't lose the button, that's for the end cap button that's going to go in there. You see that, this is all to be done later, we're all going to finish it off later, but that goes in there. It actually screws in, it doesn't go any further in, which is good, but we're going to work with that. So the battery goes in one end, the button's there, and we're working from there. But I've also want to put something on the top, which is, let's see if it's going to work, there we go, this, I got this from a supermarket, yeah, I got it from a supermarket type place, like a Home Depot thing, I think, in America. It's called The Range here, and I bought this for £1, and it did have a light in it, and what I've done is I've just opened up the hole at the bottom and put it so it fits over like so. There we go. And I think that's going to be quite cool with it lit up inside. So what I've got to do is now find a way of actually getting it to attach to this bit. Now I have a way of doing it and that's what we're going to do now, is we're going to actually sort that out, and that's why we've got all this resin and hardener. I've already done it with the skull. If you look at the skull, this is the backup. I've actually put a tube down the middle, which I also bought from similar, I think it's B&M, similar to it's kind of a cheap place to get stuff like this, and the skull, and that's my backup if they don't let me use this lighting rig. And just put this on top of the stick, like, take the stick, like so, and then it's on top of the stick, and I can use it as a walking cane. Right then, let's get on with it. Right, first things first is I'm going to take a rubber glove, and I'm going to make sure it's the right end, that's the right end. Take the largest finger and slide the rubber glove over the top of the finger like so, as far down as I can get it without ripping the glove. That'll do, that's fine, stick that in there. So we've got the rubber glove. Now this then goes over the top of there like so. Doesn't have to be too far, just enough to do that. So now it's not going to wobble, and we've got it on the glove. Now you'll like this technique of what I'm doing. I need to put that on something. I could just put it on the stick, but I want it to do something specific first. So, like that, basically. Let's put the rest of the glove in there. That'll do, so it's out of the way. But I want it to do something like that. So now, pop that to one side. we're coming up with what I'm going to do with the resin. Now the resin is quite good, you'll like this. It's pour a little bit into our tub. Not a lot, just a little bit. If you have too much, you're going to have wastage. I think that's enough, that's fine. And then what I'm going to do is to take some hardener, put a dab of hardener in there, that's about right. Just a squeeze, and then mix it up well, like so. Right. Now this is just ordinary baby powder. It's talcum powder basically, and you want to put quite a lot into your resin to make it thick, but not too thick. So, and this does go everywhere. It takes quite a long time. As you can see, it's splashing out everywhere. There we go. I'll probably whiz on the camera now, just so you can get it. Right, the texture you're looking for is something like that. Basically, you can see that. Maybe a little bit stiffer than that, but it'll stiffen up with a hardener, and you don't want it stiffening up too quickly. Right, so what I'm going to do now, clean up a little bit, is take our, and just scrape it on. That's all you got to do. Just watch me as I go round. Doesn't matter about being messy, because this is one of the effects I'm going for, is messy. A natural messiness. And just keep doing that. Keep piling it on around like that until you use all of it up. Just try and get it on as quickly as possible. That's it. That's it. You can see how it's moving, but it will set, and you just need to keep it moving. Like so, and like so. Try and use as much of this as you can. So what we're trying to do is create a messy effect. We want it to actually work, and it's moving around. We don't want it natural. There we go. Could have done probably a little bit more hardener. This is taking forever to set. it's starting to go. There we go. There we go, it's starting to go now. Right, do it like that. And last round the bowl. Right, do it like that. Pop it there. Leave it. Back indoors, it was raining outside, but basically you can see how that's come out. And it looks rather groovy. So what I've got to now do is try and get it off, which is the fun bit, which is getting this stick out. It might work, it might not. I could have put some lubrication in there. Might have welded it. It's gone through the bloody... Nope. Just try and peel it all off. Should have put some lube in there. But pulling it quite tight might help. Then pulling it down, peeling it off. Let's see. There we go. We got a release. There, it's stuck on there. We'll work on it. That might... Yeah, need some lube in there. I'll work on it and get it off. Let's get a grip on it. Ah, damn it! Not a problem, not a problem. We can work on it. It is well and truly stuck on there, is it not? That's actually not a problem, because that's cool. That works for me. Goes in there, sits on the thingy. Yeah, that's actually not a problem. Goes on, it's on there. Pops off. I would like it as one unit, but not a problem. That goes there. Not a problem at all. We can work on that. But it does mean I can do it without damaging that. Should have put some lube in there. We've got a plan. Right, we finally got it off, but we broke it a little bit, but that's not a problem because we have a plan. We're working on the plan. And what I'm doing is, because that's come off, is I've sprayed a little bit of furniture polish on the end of this tube, and there's a reason for that. So what we're going to do, just pop that on there. And the reason is so the glue doesn't stick to it, it's a lubrication. We're going to glue all this up, just a little bit of glue all the way around. Like so, and put it down like so, and then move it around until it clicks in. That's it. Then pull it out. There we go. pull it out, pull it out, pull it out, and hold that until the glue sets. Hey! That should do it. Now what I can do is I can just touch up around here with the same technique. I actually quite like it. It looks rather groovy. It looks as if the eye is separate from there, and what I can do is, yeah, I probably will just go around there and sort that out. There we go. That should have stuck. That's stuck. Excellent. Clean up the end of the tube. Got crap all over it. Not a problem. Just clean that up. Just a little bit of oh, nail polish remover will do it. Anyway, might be a moment. I'll come back to you for that one. It's done. Slides on. Slides on and off. There's a little bit too far up into the tube, but we've got a plan for that as well. And I'm just neatening this up, but I've got a plan for doing this. It's basically I'm going to do the same technique. So that slots in there, like that. What I'll do is I'll lube all this up and then do a little bit more of this down here. So what that'll do is that'll produce a stop that fits with this bottom line here, and it'll just stop at that point. Then I can just pop it on, pop it off as I want to. It'll look alright. I think it'll look groovy. Right then, there we go. One light, one unit. And as you can see, it's come out really, really well. I'm really, really pleased with how that's come out. So if you have a look, you can see, there you go. I think I'm really pleased with that. I'm going to keep it pink. I'm going to keep it pink. I think the pink with the eyeball looks awesome. I want the eyeballs to be green, so we'll have to see what we can do about that. But it works. Right, I'll show you the rest of it. It's fairly simple. Pop that off. You had the original light, and I went and got another one for another £1, and you've got the switch at the end. Now this switch we're going to be using, hence the hole in the unit. So I took the switch out, and I basically took those LEDs that I'd soldered before and just slid them into the top there to produce something that looked like that. So there they are, and that's glued in place. The battery unit you'd seen before, I drilled holes, one at the top, one at the bottom. I drilled a small hole, and that's for soldering the wire in to give it something to actually hold on to, something for the solder to hold on to. Plus I scuffed them up just for the solder, and quite literally, you can see this already. You can see the length of wires there. If you look at the length of wire, there you go. The reason I've got it that long is so I can slide the battery pack out and change the batteries, as you can see there. But let's have a look. That's how I've soldered the end of the wire. As you can see, it's well fixed, but on this end it kept breaking. The red wire, because I needed it to all be twisted and close together. So what I did is I shortened the red wire and I soldered the top unit to the bottom unit, and then I used a lot of hot glue to basically seal the head in. That, as you know, it works, but basically I'm protecting all the electronics at the top, and that's glued all together with hot glue, which is something you use in electronics. Let's pop this all together. And because this switch unit does fit right nicely in the end of the top there with a lip around the side, that's why I used the this little bit here. That's why I used it, is because it slots in really nicely onto the top, and then what you can do is then slot that over the top there, and it's done, and it lights up. Let's see. Go on, there we go. It's quite bright, isn't it? Let's try it in the dark. Do mind your eyes, but we'll see the difference in the dark. There we go. It works quite well, doesn't it? You can actually see quite a lot around. I think that looks awesome, especially with the eye. I might put a gem where the eye is, see how it works. Right. So there we go. It's all done as far as this part is concerned. Just got to wire in the switch now, which will be the next bit. Right, I've got a bit of cold to do, excuse me. Alright, the wires that came from the battery pack, what I did is I soldered them to the switch unit, And this is a broken one. This is the first time I attempted. This is the broken one. If you can have a look, that's where it broke, where the hole is. And what I did is I drilled a hole in each of the little metal bits, and then I put the wire through, and then I soldered it through, and it seems to work pretty well. This then went back into the end unit from the light, and I put it into, let's see if that goes that way. There we go. And I glued that into place. So effectively you've got a switch unit there, and then the hole in the plastic tube is exactly that size. And I just basically just slotted it in and then glued it in place, which looks a bit like that. There we go. Quite pleased with that. Now this, once I glued it in, I used the same effect that I used on this, the same process, to produce a wood-like finish. So just put streaks in it like wood, and I used exactly the same. And I then painted it with a mixture of brown oil paint and varnish, mahogany varnish, to produce something that looked a little bit like wood. And I'm very, very pleased with how that came out. So that all slots together like so. So putting it all together, we've got the battery unit there, which we can get the batteries in and out quite easily. That slides upon there, and if I put it on, I'll put it about there. I want the light, as you can see, the light moves up into it. I can have it as high or as low as possible as I want it, so I could have it a lot higher, something like that. That's cool, I like that. We'll have it at that height. And then we turn it off. And then we take a lever, which is just it's just suede leather that I've got hanging around, and I braided the end for a reason, and I've put a loop just there. See that? There's a reason for that, so let's see if we can actually get this to work. We want it that way round, so you can see that goes around like that. And what it does is this lever keeps this in place at the right height, and then once we've got that, we can move that round like so. Here we go. Doesn't matter if it kinks up, not really bothered. That can come past around there. If it folds over, not bothered. It's purely aesthetics at the moment. Oh, don't want to do that. And that goes around the bottom, so that can then fold back over there. If it rips, don't care. Just ripped it. Yeah, pulled it too tight. Not a worry, doesn't matter. Aesthetics. We can sort that out. Let's pop the tube on there like so. Yeah, I think we can get away with that. Just wrap it round. Yeah, we can get away with that, doesn't matter. But hey, as I say, all aesthetics. It's all part of the whole mystique. And then that goes around like that, and as you can see, the noggin of wood sticks out rather nicely, so you've got the button there, and it looks in keeping. It really does look in keeping. So that then goes around there like that, and I should have, yep, there's the loop. So we take the loop and we push that through. I want all the dangly things off, and then I pull that through, and basically it's very easy to come apart. It does the job. That dangles down, what the hay, and it's done. And that should all stay in place. There we go, job done. Right, so there we go. I'm quite pleased with that. I've got something that's about the right height for a walking stick. It also serves as a wizard's staff. I'm very, very pleased with that. I think the eye should be about there. There we go. That's it, that's cool. Because I can move things around, it comes apart quite easily. So yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm very, 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 very pleased with it. And it works. You want to see in the dark? You want to see this? This is cool. Turn the lights off. Hello YouTube. Welcome to the wizardy world of spells and magic and mages and mayhem. Goodbye YouTube.